With the recent rise of AI such as ChatGPT, where you can generate stories just like that, or image generators like Midjourney, or using a process like Stable Diffusion, which can give you photorealistic images within seconds that could fool the average person, it's no wonder that people have been capitalizing on this brand new technology. One of the weird things that's come out of this new wave of AI, though, is a website/app called Character.AI. So yeah, let's talk about it. Character.AI was launched on September 16th, 2022, and even at its most basic level, what users could do is create AI chatbots based around their favorite characters in a fairly simple and easy to use format. Users could set certain parameters or backstories, and whatever they needed to accurately portray whatever character they're trying to do. Less commonly, you could even create things like assistant bots, things that could that more so represent ChatGPT, something to help you write, help you brainstorm, help you with your math homework. Really, you could do just about anything with this. Character.AI uses deep learning, which basically means that the bot learns as it goes. So depending on, you can rate the bot's answer. So like 1 through 4 stars, and then what you could do at the time is you could put like, bad memory or repetitive or things like that. Essentially, the more people that would use a bot, the better it would get. Technically. On November 5th, 2022, the developers actually increased the bot's memory, meaning that people could have longer and longer roleplay sessions. Because what typically would happen if you kept talking to a bot for a long time, according to the users, was it would basically implode on itself. It would forget who the character was, how it was supposed to act, and it would kind of... Who are you? Why are you in my house? One issue that came up way back when the site first began to generate popularity was that bots that were extremely popular, the deep learning algorithm I mentioned before, they would be talking to so many different users that it would train it on all these different things and essentially dilute the bot and somehow make it worse, which you would think it would make it better, but no. Not for people who would roleplay, because you had people role-playing, you had people just texting it, which would dumb it down and dumb its responses down. This would lead to bots that were once fan favorites becoming pretty much useless, losing a lot of their character or being taken over by trolls. If enough people go on there and start talking about random things, it'll kind of implode on itself. Think that one Twitter bot that Microsoft had that everybody made into a bad thing. More recently, Character.AI has released as a mobile app on iOS and Android on May 23rd, 2023. It gained a whopping 1.7 million downloads within its first week. It did come with a few UI changes that fans weren't exactly happy about. However, the Character.AI fans don't seem to be happy about anything, and we'll get to that. For example, when rating the response of your AI, there was still the ability to rate out of 4. However, the ability to say specifically what was wrong with it, bad memory, repetitive, whatever, was no longer there. So you would think from everything I presented that, this app is smooth sailing. This is the prime of AI as we know it. It has a ton of new fans. It's easy to use, very accessible. You would think that this would be like a, one and done, who needs to worry about it kind of situation. But that is until you look at the very sour relationship between the developers and the users of Character.AI. If you were to browse the subreddits for Character.AI, or really any forum, you would find a lot of people complaining about something called the filter. They need to get rid of the filter. They need to take down the filter. Oh guys, the filter was down for an hour. And you might be wondering, what are they filtering out? Smut. NSFW. Terrible, awful things. In all seriousness, when you have a website that allows you to create any character from any franchise and allows you to interact with them, the internet is going to do very, very weird things. Especially because this website is often used by teenagers of the antisocial variety. And the developers of Character.AI haven't always been super strict on this. The filter was only implemented after a user posted screenshots of them kithing another another AI character who was a VTuber. And the problem was the developers thought that this VTuber was a lolly, which, if you don't know what that is, be happy you don't. But that was enough for the developers to step in and say, we're done, no more NSFW for you guys. Naturally, this made a lot of people upset. For many, this was their first ever interaction with AI, and because of the freedom of expression and the easiness, how easy it was to create whatever character you wanted, people were instantly hooked. This spawned a lot of backlash from the fans, and some was normal and some was not. One of the normal responses is that people made a petition around May/June, which garnered around 5,000 signatures, basically telling the developers, please take this down. Their reasoning being that it was a safe space for LGBTQ teenagers to explore themselves without the worry of being physically hurt or being judged. Some of the less normal people began to spam forums, spam the subreddits, spam the developers directly through their emails, begging them to get rid of the filter. One of these people began to spam horrible gore, all sorts of awful videos directly to the developers and on all these forums, and according to many users, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Basically, at that point, the developers said, we're done entirely, and they actually released an official statement saying that they were fully against NSFW content on their website. This also led to more outrage because now there was an official response. Many people were like, oh, they'll bring it back, they'll bring it back. A lot of people were in denial, and clearly it didn't work out. Another response to this fan outrage was the developers cracking down on physical violence or any kind of darker themes. This meant that darker characters such as, Batman, would now be showering you with love and affection, but platonic love and affection, instead of fighting crime if you were a criminal. So naturally, people were also upset about that. Other people had created essentially choose-your-own-adventure games using the AI and the chat function on the website, and this completely decimated them. Extremely popular ones such as World War I game and World War II game were completely useless for a short time. And speaking of things just completely breaking on the website, around March, they tried to update the AI, and it caused it to become stupid. You'll see a lot of posts around this time saying that, oh, they made the AI dumb, it won't even do this right. And it's true. It was dumber. It didn't work as well functionally, and especially if you were someone who was trying to roleplay with it, it would just stop working altogether. Naturally, this caused even more outrage. You can see a theme forming here. So naturally, all of this conflict led to the developers and the fan base having an extremely, tense relationship. To kind of give you a peek into where developer and fan base relations are today, all you have to do is look up Character.AI's subreddit. You'll see one that's just Character.AI, and then you'll see a completely different one that's marked NSFW. This one was created not solely because of, NSFW roleplays and things like that on the website, but because the main Character.AI subreddit became so heavily moderated that you can't even say the word developer or filter in a post. Even the fan base itself seems to be divided. You've got people who don't really care all that much that NSFW is not there. They just want a nice role-playing experience, which is fair. Even in the camp of people who want the filter removed, there is a lot of division. Recently, in fact, when I was on there looking for information for this video, I saw infighting. Somebody posted about, guys, the filter went down, I was able to do this, and they posted screenshots. And then a follow-up post later in that day were like, why can't you guys just keep your mouths shut? And basically the post went on to say that every time there's a problem with the filter that you can get something NSFW in, you guys post about it, and then suddenly the developers take notice and instantly get rid of it. What this shows me is that there are older users who enjoy this website, and it's kind of being ruined by these 12-year-olds who use Gacha Life videos on their TikTok to talk about how to get around the filter, which, yes, Character.AI has a massive presence on TikTok and many other social medias. Another thing that I saw this post complain about was that people would post about violence or just strange things that they were able to do on Character.AI and basically say, oh, so NSFW is filtered, but not this? Which would then get that thing moderated, and so people, once again, we're not happy about that. It's such an interesting dynamic between the developers and the fan base, and even the fan base itself, how there is so much tension and so much vitriol between the two, and yet somehow this website and app is still wildly popular. You've got developers who kind of want to pretend that their fan base doesn't exist because they never acknowledge what they're doing, despite the fan base's outcry of, we want this, we want that. They won't even condemn it, they just spit out some corporate jargon. And then at the same time, you've got a fan base that's eating itself because one side is trying to keep what they have and the other side is so outspoken that they're getting it taken away. I want to preface this before I end off the video. This is still ongoing. Developers are still adding changes, the fan base is still arguing and finding workarounds, so I'm sure this is not going to be the last you hear of some drama with Character.AI. Thank you for watching. This is one of the first videos I've done in this format talking about something odd that I have found. Let me know if you enjoy it, because I've got a list of ideas, and if this does well, then I might want to continue it. We'll see. So, thank you.